Perfect Dark. What can I say about this game to really convey my nostalgic feelings for it? I regard it amongst the best first-person shooter games of all time. I think it's up there with Halo, Doom, Half-Life and Duke Nukem. Some people might say GoldenEye, and of course a lot of people remember GoldenEye fondly. So do I. It's a brilliant game in its own right and set a standard for couch multiplayer. And GoldenEye is certainly a cherished memory of mine for sure, and occasionally I'll play it with friends at parties. But Perfect Dark was GoldenEye on steroids. They improved on so much in this game, creating a new IP with a futuristic setting and staying with the secret agent theme from 007. They added new weapons with 2 different switchable modes for each weapon, a variety of gadgets completely outclassing James Bond's arsenal, an original story with a brilliant single-player campaign, and the multiplayer was just as awesome. They even added bots so you could have fun when your friends weren't around, or you wanted to work as a team to kill the bots. Or if you didn't have any friends. And yeah, Perfect Dark may also have its flaws, and on the Nintendo 64 it runs a bit like a tortoise having an orgasm, but back in the day I don't really remember it mattering that much. Besides, the remaster on Xbox Live Arcade did an excellent job getting rid of all those issues, and it was included in the Rare Replay collection on Xbox One. If you're going to play Perfect Dark, this is the version I highly recommend. Of course, the charm of the original will never go away for me, seeing as it is my favourite console of all time. Oh, and hello there. I'm Sean the Extra Guy. Now, Perfect Dark is a classic game within its own right. And there's no denying it. One of the best first-person shooters on the Nintendo 64. Made by one of the best third-party developers on the Nintendo system, Rareware. Requiescat in pace. Oh wait, they're not dead?
You're not dead. No. He shot me! It didn't work.
Oh, so they haven't really been doing much lately then. Oh, and Playtonic is made up of old Rare developers? Well, what have they made lately? Okay, you know what? The less said, the better the comment section. Yeah, this really was a brilliant game back in the day. You know what? This cartridge holds so many memories for me. Both literally and figuratively, I suppose. You know, there was something else. What was it? Something on the Gameboy Color. That's right. They made Perfect Dark for the Gameboy Color. Where's Duke Nukem holding this?
Just take this piece of shit away from me, you weirdo pervy bastard.
I resent that statement. You know, I for one have the utmost... Why the hell am I talking to a toy? Fucking inanimate object that was only used for the shot.
Alright, well I guess we just have to go get the Game Boy then. No, I don't get that out. Why doesn't work? Oh, it's a Sega Game Gear. Oh, I'm a dickhead. Oh, it's a Game Boy. Yes, of course, the Game Boy. Oh, okay, it's Game Boy Color, right. Well, I'm a dickhead. That sound brings back so many memories. Alright, main menu. So there's a bunch of different sub-menus, like an extras menu, which lets you replay the various mini-games scattered throughout the levels. There's nothing else we can really do here. I currently don't have a link cable for the printer to get these recon photos, and I don't have a second copy of the game to see what the multiplayer is like. Well, I suppose I should just start a new game then, name our agent file, and...
Get on with it! Yes! Get on with it!
And as soon as we do that, we get a voice dialogue bit with Joanna and Carrington. And they use the voice actors from the N64 version. And what can I say about the quality?
Training ground. It simulates urban combat conditions.
Well, I'm not going to bag it out too much. I mean, credit where credit is due, they managed to fit a whole lot of voice clips for these scenes onto this cartridge. So even though the voices sound like they were fed through an arse fan that had shit thrown at it, I can't really fault the tech here. The game's story is also set before the events of the N64 game, and after the events of Perfect Dark Zero. Actually, you know what? Since this is a Game Boy, why didn't I play the way it was intended to? You know, the whole idea of the Game Boy was to be able to take games wherever you want and play them away from home. Yeah. I'm gonna go on an adventure. I'm going home. I should have brought Pokemon or Tetris or Mario with me. Not this piece of wank.
Okay, I'll start from the very beginning moments of the game. It's a tutorial level of sorts. But hang on, do you hear that? Do you hear it?
Within the sound of silence.
Well, I mean, not entirely silence. You hear your own footsteps when you run, and you hear gunfire and enemies screaming in pain. But remember that cool futuristic soundtrack from the N64 version? Well, keep remembering it, because this silence is the only music you're going to be hearing in the game, aside from the music in the cutscenes. So let's just add our own music, shall we? No, not that kind of music. Anyway, first moments of the game. So we knock out some poor sod, because, you know, it's a training facility and all. And then it's onto a target shooting section where it sort of goes into a first-person view with an aiming reticule. And we have to shoot the training targets. These are scattered throughout the level too, with different designs. And you have to at least get a passing score, otherwise you fail the mission and you have to restart from the last checkpoint. The first level helps you get familiar with the mechanics of the game, and it isn't a shooter in the same vein of the N64 version. It's more like a stealth action game than anything. Of course, the N64 version had stealth elements, but it had better design and it wasn't really required, at least not in most missions. And you did have a number of devices that allowed you to be stealthy, but most of the time you could just run and gun if you wanted. Not in this game, however, and it's because of the fact that your health is worse than a brittle-boned old lady. The game encourages you to be stealthy and avoid combat if you can, especially if your only weapon on hand is your pistol. Now you do get other weapons like a machine gun, submachine gun, a shotgun, and even a rocket launcher, but unless you can deal with the shitty movement controls while you go Rambo Commando on their ass, you're probably just going to end up getting shot a lot, and health gets scarce when you're in desperate need of it. You'll randomly find health in enemies that you killed, and that goes for your ammunition too. You'll also find medkits lying around in various places, sometimes hidden, but most of the time you'll be relying on fallen enemies, and usually there's nothing fucking on them. But you have to check every enemy because you really do need that health, and you need that ammunition too. It gets monotonous having to check every single bloody guy you kill. What was wrong with enemies just dropping their items on the ground and letting you pick them up by walking over them? You know, like in the N64 version? Also, when you're firing your weapon and you run out of ammo, you have to manually reload by pressing B, and the ammo counter is not very obvious. It's just a tiny little bar right below the health indicator, and under the weapon you have equipped. Were they trying to add realism to this game? Because it just ends up pissing me off. Sometimes I don't bother with sneaking controls and just use whatever powerful weapon I have on hand, but it's way too risky because of the problems I mentioned before. So the objective of this entire level is to go through each building and learn how to be a super secret agent for missions to come. Along the way we have to free hostages or collect them and put them in your pocket, I suppose. Shoot enemies, loot their corpses, try to find where to go and end up in pointless fucking rooms, shoot targets occasionally, and play Simon Says with the door security system. Yeah, all the security systems in this game are Simon Says. You know, the little memory game where you have to repeat the colour pattern played to you. Yeah, that's what they have protecting all their restricted areas. Can you imagine if a bank had that protecting the money in the vault? Tell you one thing, I wouldn't be staying with that bank for very long, I can tell you that much. You know, they could have had anything else, like maybe a hacking minigame. Fucking Pipe Dream would have been better than Simon fucking Says. The pattern plays only once and it's random, and if you get it wrong 3 times, a new pattern starts. And I must be a dickhead because it takes me at least 4 different patterns to get it correct. I'm really shit at Simon Says. Anyway, after you deal with shit like this, it's back to the main game of shooting wankers in the face and also getting shot by wankers in the face. Oh, and by the way, whenever you get hit by enemy bullets, you actually feel every shot rumble in your hands. No, I'm serious. You really do. This isn't some high perform with empathy situation. Let me explain. You know, maybe at the start of the video you thought that this cartridge looks a little bit silly. Well, this is a rumble cart, powered by a battery with a little motor here, and that's what gives the rumble sensation. Whoa! It's like I'm actually there, feeling every sensation of the intense action of every fight, and... actually, you know what? It's not even that special. In fact, the 2 other games that I own that have this feature, they do it a lot better than this one. I would have liked it if the rumble happened when you fire your weapons, but the only times you feel it are when you get hit by enemies, and that's it as far as I know. This bit here, holy shit, did this take me a dozen times to finally complete. So this building is supposed to get you familiar with the sneaking mechanic of the game, but in doing so, it actually pisses you off more than it prepares you for stealth. So you walk inside and Carrington calls you, telling you that you have to use your stealth here. You then need to silently kill the guard by walking up to him, making sure you don't alert him, and then fire an unsilenced pistol at him, which will kill him instantly. If he sees you, it's instant mission failure, and you start outside the building again. Oh, and by the way, I had my machine gun selected before the checkpoint saved,
So every time I had to restart, I also had to change back to the pistol. Now if you succeed in... Fuck! Now if you succeed in... You little prick! If you succeed in killing this fucker, Agent 47 style, you then have to play Simon Says at the door and get into the next room, which is a target shooting section. And you better make sure you don't accidentally kill the cardboard cutout of the little girl. Because if you do, you fail the mission, and you have to go back to the checkpoint, and again, change your gun, listen to Carrington, kill the guy, play Simon Says, then back to the shooting gallery. Then if you succeed in this endeavor, you get to this next bit, which... Joanna! Where the fuck did you come from? How the fuck was I supposed to see you when the limits of my vision are the scroll of the screen? So we do it all again, try to inch ever so delicately and... bastard! Oh, why are you doing this to me? Why can't you just be a dumbass and pretend you can't see me? Works well for some of the other guards. Actually, you know what? The enemy AI in this game is so bloody inconsistent. Either they are dumb as shit, are deaf and blind, or they have fucking reflexes like a hawk and react like they have fucking psychic abilities. And it's not like Metal Gear Solid on Game Boy, for example, where enemies have a specific line of sight and react in a way that makes sense in terms of gameplay. No, Perfect Dark has no concept of line of sight because the screen is so zoomed in, it's like Joanna forgot to put on her contact lenses before she went to work. So by some stroke of luck, I managed to get past this fucker, and then I finally get out of the building and the game is back to normal. Thank God. And so finally we go through the buildings, doing all of our missions, and then the tutorial level is now over. We get a short dialogue scene and then...
Mama said I should shake hands with new people.
Have a look at what's supposed to be Joanna and Carrington, would you? Carrington looks like he's got a pixelated happy face and Joanna looks like a killer robot.
You can't shake hand.
Threat detected. Fire. Destroyed. Yes.
So we get an actual cutscene with animation as Joanna gets into a helicopter and it drops herself into the jungle, while it gives us the names of the characters in the game. Joanna Dark, Daniel Carrington, Max fucking Danger. This guy looks like he's stuck in the early 90s. I bet he thinks he's so radical. He's probably a douchebag. Look, he even dyes his fucking eyebrows. Anyway, who's next? Mink Hunter. Mink Hunter. And Octopus Prime. Moving on. Look at this level design. I know it's a jungle. That's what it's supposed to be, right? But don't make a jungle level just a clusterfuck of trees, rocks, bushes. Just stabs my eyes with shitty colours. In terms of actual straightforwardness, it's not too horrible. It's mostly consistent and linear. But sometimes you really don't know if an area is a wall or a place you can walk through. Now, I immediately apply what I learned with stealth in the training level, but that doesn't help me much considering Joanna can't fucking see 10 meters in front of her. I end up getting caught by soldiers almost every time, and I really am trying to be stealthy here. Either I get to an area and someone sees me, or I'm there at the right time and can easily sneak up on them. Anyway, it's not too hard to get past this section, but there's no checkpoint for a long stretch of it, so if you die, you have to begin from the start of the level. Luckily, this game isn't too unfair, since it saves after getting to the end, when Joanna gets into a boat, and we are thrown into a shooting minigame in a similar style to arcade shooters like Operation Wolf, but to aim, you have to use the D-pad. Actually, it's more like Dynamite Duke on the Master System. The same concept, you automatically move through the level and you shoot everything. Now, for some reason, no matter how hard I try, I'm always getting hit, and you never know which enemy shot you. You'll more than likely fail this a few times because health seems to drop randomly, but sometimes not at all. This entire section is not really entertaining at all. The game would have been better off without it. Mind you, the only entertainment I get is when you have grenades and blow them the fuck up. Yeah, take that for all the times you killed me, you bastards. And after that, we deal with another normal trek through a level, and then we play, Spy Hunter? Can I please review a game that doesn't have an identity crisis? You know, before you poured more crap into this game, maybe you could have focused on the main gameplay and perfect that first, eh? Well, I mean, it's not bad, it plays fine enough, and it's not too difficult. I'm actually kind of grateful for it, I guess, but unlike Spy Hunter, the colours aren't vibrant at all, it's a filthy mess. It's really just a bare-bones version of Spy Hunter, and you're gonna fuck up so many times before you actually complete it. And so, we get to another normal gameplay section. This time there's a few hostages to save, and... Well, that's just unfortunate. You know, I think I'd be more pissed off if that wasn't funny. After all of that, it's on to the first mini-boss of the level, an attack helicopter.
I sexually identify as an attack helicopter.
Now, trying to defeat the helicopter wouldn't be so bad if the Game Boy had more buttons, because in order to aim left and right, you have to hold B. And while you're doing this, you can't move, which, if you're not in cover, leaves you open to get hit, either by the explosions or the machine gun firing at you. The gun is easy to deal with, but the things you're meant to destroy are the missile launchers, which are the most lethal to Joanna if you're not hiding behind the rocks. Once you destroy all of them, you fire at the cockpit, the attack helicopter dies, and now we take on the role of Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, hi, Mark.
And snipe enemies from far away. away. It's rather easy once you work it out, and it's sort of cool, I guess. The idea is you have to shoot the guards in the right order and take care they don't get found out. Luckily, these guards are deaf and stupid most of the time, but it can be a little tricky. Once you've killed them all, it's... Are you shitting me?
Well, thanks to the fucking heads up game. You just put me straight into the action. You know, don't give me a chance to be silent or anything. No, just put a guy right there right when I spawn in.
Anyway, kill him with extreme prejudice, then go inside the building and... Who the fuck is that? Oh, it's Max Power, huh?
He's the man whose name you'd love to touch.
So he tells us we have to blow up the facility using C4 charges and fuel tanks, but we have to make sure we deal with Mink Hunter first before we blow the place up. I don't know why we can't blow him up, blow us inside. We're clearly not against murdering hundreds of henchmen, so why can't we just blow up Mink Hunter when he's inside the facility? You know, nobody's gonna miss anyone with that fucking name. So this part of the game, we have to go through these buildings and find the tanks to place a C4 on. And it's simple enough, but it seems like guards in this part of the game have suddenly become stupid. Like really, how incompetent do you have to be to ignore your mate being shot in the face and realizing only moments later? Wow, these fucking guards are just... They're deaf. They're short-sighted, they're not very intelligent. I mean, look at this. I'm standing in his line of sight. Other enemies usually see me at this point and start going apeshit. Him?
La la la, la da 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 da.
Fucking boot! Jesus. I almost feel sorry for him.
Did they hire these guards from the Special Needs Recruitment Center? I suppose that explains the Simon Says security system. I say as I immediately fail the Simon Says minigame. Fucking... yeah.
Okay, I'm lost. I've got no clue where I'm supposed to go. I've gone all around this building and I don't know where the objective... Ah, fuck. Well, I'm a dickhead. I even passed this fucking thing several times. I guess for me, if it doesn't have a big-ass sign saying, hey, put the C4 here, shit for brains, I'm not really going to pay attention to it the first time around. But this repeats itself for a while until you face off against another mini-boss, and it's a spider robot cyborg thing. I don't fucking know. Don't ask. You kill it by firing the laser turrets at it, and the only thing you have to be careful of are the rockets he fires at you. So after we kill that fucking thing, the level's nearly finished, and at the end, in classic video game fashion, we face off against the main boss, and it's Mink Hunter. Again, what kind of a name is Mink Hunter? Actually, what even is a mink? That's a mink, huh? And he hunts them? Wow, what a fucking asshole. You know I've got weapons, right? I've got a fucking rocket launcher that I thought I needed to save for a boss fight like this. This is what you get me to do? Fucking discus? Fuck! Come on, just hit him. Stop moving, you dinosaur twat! Oh, you shit! Fucking just hit him! Yes! Yes! The next level, holy hell, does it up the difficulty. It starts off fine, it's not too hard to do, and when the guards aren't having a moment of psychosis like this one, they're rather easy to deal with. You do get another spider robot boss battle thingy, which is no different from the last time, but then you're thrusted into a non-linear back and forth journey to find key cards to different doors, which eventually you're going to die because you don't know where these doors or key cards are. Every time you die, you have to collect the fucking cards again. You know, if the game decided to save when I got the key cards, I wouldn't be as frustrated as I am right now. But whether it's because I'm losing my mind to the monotony, or I'm just an idiot in general, that's probably a possibility. I keep getting lost and trying to find the doors that I'm supposed to go through, or I get the order of the doors mixed up. Fuck off, Max Payne. I know it's a door I can't open right now. That much is obvious by the fact it doesn't fucking open when I walk by it, dickhead. I'm getting fucking sick of this. Every time I feel like I'm getting somewhere and progressing further in this level, I get into a situation where I have barely any health left and end up dying. And most of the time, I'm trying to be stealthy, but the fucking assholes patrolling the level keep spotting me, and I keep getting into a firefight, for fuck's sake! You know what, that's it. I'm just gonna go Contra style. Fuck trying to be 007. It's time to go red-brown on their candy asses. Well, I tried that strategy. Just ended up dying a lot. Don't know what I expected. Alright, you know what? I'll have one more try. If I die during this run, that's it for this fucking game. You hear that? You've got one chance. Don't screw this up for yourself.
Nah, fuck this game. You know what? I don't have to complete it.
I've played long enough to know that this game fucking sucks. I shouldn't have to deal with bullshit AI, bullshit controls, bullshit level design, and you know what? Just fucking
bullshit!
You know what? It's sad that I have to say this about a game, especially a Rareware title. But when a game pisses you off to the point where you don't want to play it anymore, you know the game has done something wrong beyond just fucking frustrating you.
In this case, it was the gameplay itself, and having to repeat something over and over again after dying. I'm at least glad that dying doesn't mean you restart the entire level, but I think this wouldn't be so bad if you could just save at any time, because a game like this sort of needs it. It's not like that was impossible. Metal Gear Solid on Game Boy did it fine. I said in the Toy Story video that challenging games can be fun, but Perfect Dark on Game Boy isn't fun, and its challenge is too unfair, brought down mainly by its poor management of AI and the controls, and having to deal with AI that either decided they'd wake up with Superman's powers, or the dickhead who woke up thinking about cheese all day long. It's just
Bullshit.
You know, if the characters were just a little bit smaller, maybe I would be able to properly go through the game all Solid Snake style, because at least then my vision isn't impaired. Hell, a fucking minimap where Joanna's stupid faces would have been something at least. And all of that, coupled with the repetitive checking of dead bodies and the hope that they're carrying health and ammunition, with the boring exploration and backtracking to complete objectives, it fails to capture the charm and the enjoyable nature of the N64 title of the same name. You know, instead of focusing on cramming mini challenges and trying to incorporate different genres into this game, maybe the developers could have improved the main game first.
You know, maybe one day I'll return to this game when I'm not so pissed off with it to the point where I'd like to pour petrol over the cartridge and set it on fire. This game may have won a victory over me today. But in the words of the Terminator himself, I'll be back.
Wow, you couldn't even finish the damn game. Now that sounds familiar to me.
Oh, what? It's not like I've never left a game incomplete before. What the hell is that supposed to mean?
How about you play a real man's game? Better than that Rareware shit.
Alright, well, what exactly do you have in mind then, Duke?
Maybe you remember it. One of your favorite games on the Nintendo 64.
Ocarina of Time! Yes, sure, I'll play that game. I fucking love it!
No, not Ocarina of Time, you fucking idiot. We're not gonna be playing some green pussy elf boy game. No, I'm talking about Duke Nukem 64.
Why the hell would I want to play that? I may as well just play Duke Nukem 3D. I mean, hell, it's almost the same game, only it's uncensored and it's got better controls.
But you've already beaten it several times over the years. You don't need to do that again. Besides, you've been thinking about this for a long time. Ever since you first completed Duke Nukem 3D, you've been thinking about Duke Nukem 64, the first game you ever heard about me.
I mean, you have a point. Wait, no, you don't. Fuck off. I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to take requests from you. You're just a toy.
Yeah, I might just be a toy representation of Duke Nukem, but you are and always will be a chicken.
What did you call me?
Chicken. You are KFC Kentucky Fried Chicken. You're not even free range. You're a caged shit heap of a chicken. You're the kind of chicken the rooster calls his bitch.
Nobody calls me chicken, right? Nobody calls me Chicken, Duke. Nobody.
Well then stop trying to reenact Marty McFly lines and play the fucking game already.
Alright then, Duke. You're on.
Bloody hell. Okay, so this video took longer than what it should have to come out. Hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. But, as we all know, real life loves to get in the way of things that we want to do. But anyway, if you like the video, you know exactly what to do. If you haven't already, subscribe. You can do it. You know you can. And share the video around. Share it with everyone. Tell your friends. Tell your mum. Tell your dad. Tell your nan. Tell your dog. I'm sure they'll be interested. In all seriousness, I've got to get over that 100 subscriber hurdle, and I'd be happy with 100 subscribers, because at least that's like a small community. That's a Discord server, you know? So yeah, just sharing my videos and my channel around, that helps me out so much. You cannot believe how much it would help me out, because I really love doing this, and I want to continue to do it. And so, as always, stay safe, and have a nice day.